Ivana Valiyeva, member of the Azerbaijan Parliament, to welcome you.
Good morning, dear distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure for me to welcoming you all to Baku at this conference dedicated to decolonization of Saint Martin, one people, one island, one destiny. And I wish successful conference to all participants. Colonialism is not just an occupation. It is a system where colonized must melt colonizers' culture, making them vulnerable to exploitation and erasure of their own identity. This makes people dependent and reinforce inequality. The needs and challenges of owners of the lands, on the other hand, are ignored, and the resources gifted by the God to their lands are used to benefit by the colonizers. Currently, French and Dutch colonialism are one of the most damaging forms of domination. Unlike other forms of colonialism, French colonialism forced people to complete assimilation, stripped away their culture and identity, and adopt only French ways. Erasure of culture and identity means elimination of heritage, which figures out a nation's historical existence, political imprisonments, forced displacements, violation of human rights and freedom, ecocide, genocide, urbicide, nuclear tests are just some examples of colonialism that people in these overseas territories face on an everyday basis, and their rights to self-determination and freedom are denied. The lasting effects of colonialism in Saint Martin go beyond identity loss and assimilation. The island's people continue to face the consequences of the Franco-Dutch Treaty that is signed by France and Netherlands, controlling the island. These people endured unimaginable injustice, which is a shame to the name of humanity. Dividing the territory into two parts by two colonial rulers caused displacements, tore apart families, destroyed their social existence, and plunged them into despair. Yes, the northern and southern part of Saint Martin are divided by two colonial powers, by two European powers in the 21st century. When the people fly to the sky independently, even they gain lands in Mars. And these developments bill shouldn't be paid by poor nations that are poor because of the rich. The people of Saint Martin are one, although colonialism divided them into two parts, but they face similar fate, similar destiny, as we said. In a purposeful manner, it was calculated to weaken the ability of two parts local people to overcome their shared challenges and also to gain their own independence. The colonial powers used Saint Martin's resources for their own benefit under the false idea of development. But it is apparent that deep economic monopoly, deep economic degradation in the end harmed to the people of Saint Martin. We as Azerbaijanis also struggled from different type of colonialism during former Soviet Union times. And the people were dependent so that we share your concerns, your worry. Because there is no language and no nation of the trauma of colonialism. It was the same in Azerbaijan during Soviet Union times, as well as it is the same in Saint Martin. But at the same time, we strongly believe that you will one day get your own independence, as Azerbaijan liberated its internationally recognized territories after 30 years of occupation. Because injustice and aggression cannot be long-lasting. It should be end one day. The fight against colonialism is not just reclaiming about lands, territories, but it is reclaiming about dignity, to have the right to shape your own future. And France and Netherlands must clarify its stance on the people of local people, as well as they should immediately implement UNGA resolution on decolonization, ensuring their rights in the constitution, ensure their independence, and give their rights to develop their own laws, their own constitution. So the people in Saint Martin deserve the right to shape their own lives, their own identity, their own culture. Take the rights pathway. My lands, my rules, my rights. For a sustainable and a just future, no one should be left behind. The right to freedom and autonomy in overseas must be respected. Neo-colonialism, all forms of colonialism must be declined in the world, because no one is free until everyone is free. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Valieva. I don't think you could have put it any better. You set the stage already for us for this conference, which is all what this is all about. Now it gives me